A very good evening to you and welcome to the desk here on Global Television. My name is Godwin Sunday. A lot of issues around the country, first from Rivers State, then through to the FCT, but all of this conversation will try to put them in perspective, especially the one that revolves around the minister in charge of the Federal Capital Territory. We'll begin the conversation today from the Federal Capital Territory that will marry it up to what's happening in Rivers State. And joining me to talk about happenings even in Nigeria right now is Chief M.O. Shitu. We'll be talking about issues around the country. But first, you're welcome to the desk, Chief Shitu.
Yeah, good to be with you. It's a pleasure.
All right, so Chief Shitu, let's begin the conversation first. So, what do you make of the Gishiri situation right now, where people from Gishiri have been asked to relocate or asked to move without proper compensation, and all of this conversation? What do you make of it?
One, you see, when you say proper compensation, I want to disagree with you on that basis. One, the government, FCT minister, you understand, gave them ultimatum, but they felt they are above the law and that they have nowhere to run to. They will not vacate that place. The truth is, in Abuja, anywhere within the 4 corridors of Abuja, if you are living in any village, then you know at any fucking time they can come and pull your house down because there is a master plan for FCT. So, and I think what is happening in Gishiri is just in line with the master plan for FCT.
So you're saying that the master plans outweighs the indigenous people of the land?
Definitely, the indigenous people has been compensated. So most of those affected are the non-indigens who came from different parts of the world, from different states of Nigeria, and who are residing in that village because of the proximity of that place to town.
But Chief, we have a lot of chiefs, even within that community, that have come out to speak. Of course, those chiefs cannot be, would not have been crowned or titled chief if they are not indigenous people of the Federal Capital Territory. But they've come out to air their grievances. Or don't you think that this is, they are saying, and according to what they said, that they are trying to protect their villages. This is their home. This is where their forefathers were buried. This is where they've known as a village over the years.
Well, you see, what they are saying, they are actually right. But the government has sat with them in the past, get them compensated, pay them heavily. We understand because Nigerian government, we like to pile up a lot of things and put them into pending files. Gishiri is supposed to have been far beyond what is it today. Rose is going there to network so many other ways into the FCT, into neighboring areas, central area, Wuse and other things, you understand? These people have been heavily compensated over years. But they feel because government has failed to come and do the needful to develop that place and make the roads they want to put there. Where should be road, where should be buildings, estates and other things. Since government has failed on that aspect, so they felt is their own part of the national cake, the money they took. And when Wike came in, Wike invited them, okay, we're ready to even see what we can do and give you stipends as compensation. Vacate this place. We want to go by the master plan. They declined. So on a serious note, that's why the fact that I'm not a fan of Wike. But on that aspect, he has done excellently well, frankly speaking.
All right, so let's get back to the issue at hand, which is the issue around Rivers State conflict. We've seen the Fubara, who happens to be the governor of Rivers State, approach the State House of Assembly, and the State House of Assembly in turn shut the gate, saying that they were not duly informed about his coming because the notification period was not properly served to them. But looking at all of this, Rivers State in general and its politics, what do you think is happening in Rivers State right now?
You see, the truth is Nigeria as a whole, as a country, is being ruled by some political cartels. And when you have cartels ruling you, you see all sorts of things like this. One individual wants to sit at the position of authority in FCT and in Rivers State. It's very, very unfair. The same Wike we're talking of, or FCT, is the same person causing all these things in Rivers State.
But we can't say this for sure.
I'm saying it is for sure. It's an open secret. It's known to everybody. Wike himself is not hiding it. So then why should you be hiding that from him? Wike himself have been coming out. He came on TV, was even went to as far as berating the Jos. Now that the governor, the chief security officer of a state, gets to the premises of the State House of Assembly and they locked him outside, it's quite embarrassing. It's quite embarrassing. Even Wike himself, if he's on that seat as a governor, he won't take that. So what he cannot take, while now repeating it to somebody, why Wike won't be governor of two different places at a time? He wants to be the governor by making Fubara his proxy in Rivers State. I'm sitting in FCT as the FCT minister, by implication as the governor of the FCT. It's not possible. Things are not done. Then it means, just like I said, there are cartels ruling Nigeria.
But let's look at the process that has brought in, that even led to the governor being locked out. Don't you think that the process was faulted by the governor not rightly serving the notice, the House of Assembly due notice before even going to them?
There is nothing faulty in the procedure and the processes the governor took. He did the right thing at the right time. So they are only applying or playing politics in all of these things. That's the blatant truth. Now, do you know what happened today? The State House of Assembly said they are going on indefinite, and they locked up this thing that they are going on indefinite break till further notice. So you cannot imagine a State House of Assembly holding the whole state into ransom, holding the whole masses, the whole citizens of Rivers State. It is unfair just because of one man, because of Wike. Wike cannot be bigger than Rivers State. It's not possible. No individual should be bigger than any state. No individual should be bigger than any local government. They don't do things like that. Then with all these things, we are not, what is playing in Nigeria, what you're having is not democracy. Just this afternoon, the State House of Assembly said they are going on recess indefinitely. And we all know the political tone behind that, just to frustrate the governor. And that will bring a lot of crisis. And Wike today is succeeding in doing all this thing and is achieving this thing because Bola Ahmed Tinubu is allowing him, he's giving him a free day. And he has access to all the apparatus of the government to use to oppress the governor, a sitting governor. And it's because we don't have, the PDP is not a viable opposition in Nigeria. PDP as an opposition party, Fubara is from PDP, he's a governor under PDP. The party should speak for him. This is the right time for PDP to come up and ensure they are directly behind Fubara and ensure he's not being impeached. But they went silent. They were not even, they are not seeing that thing as an issue. It's going to be a slap on PDP, not on Fubara, if Fubara has been impeached. That's the blatant truth.
But is that even possible for him to be impeached right now?
It's very possible. This is Nigeria. So that is not possible, rule that out. And especially with Wike using all the apparatus of the government.
But the ground for impeachment, why I'm asking that question is that the ground for impeachment most times will be that you must have committed a crime, that or you must have done something that it has been proven beyond reasonable doubt that of course you are liable to that offense.
You see,
and a vote of confidence can be passed on you. But so far so good if you rate Fubara in Rivers State. He has not been doing bad. So will it be possible based on his track record to begin an impeachment process on him?
You see, this you are saying will only happen in a society, in a country where the rule of law prevails. But in Nigeria, reverse is the case. So the rule of law is not effectively active in action in Nigeria. So it's a matter of who is on the seat, who has that presidency or the executive backing power that can use it to oppress his opponent, that can use it to oppress the opposition parties. So, and just you can see that the Supreme Court judgment that affirmed this State House of Assembly, a lot of lawyers has come out and criticized this. That even that case was not even part of what was before the Supreme Court. But the Supreme Court has decided and have passed that. So what do we have nothing? That's the last place that they could take that into in terms of litigation.
When you say oppress,
yeah,
are you saying invariably that River State government and River State polity, as it stands right now, is now going in circle again. What Rotimi Amaechi did to Wike, and what that's the replica of what Wike is doing, is that what you imply by oppress?
No, what I mean by oppress is exactly what Wike is doing to Fubara. We've all seen how Wike has been going from one TV station to another. You understand? Not for the development of River State, but just to bring the governor down at all cost. At all cost, a duly elected governor. You understand? Wike is using his position, is using his closeness to this Tinubu-led government to oppress the governor.
That's a similar thing Rotimi Amaechi did when Wike was...
It was not as worse as this.
Oh.
It was, no.
Okay.
This one is too blatant, it's too open, it's too heartless. Frankly speaking, and if care is not taken, my appeal to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is that he needs to quickly caution Wike so that crisis will not come up in
you don't think that
State.
APC needs this politics right now to stay this way in River State to be able to gain access to the State House of River State?
The truth is...
The government house of River State.
The truth is, when you look at the people of River State, then you know that Wike is a man that is well accepted within the state. His people love him and is giving them... They are seeing the dividend of democracy in him. I'm not of his party, you understand? I'm an opposition to his own party. But when it comes to reality, when it comes to issue of good governance, then we should put politics aside, then be factual. You understand? The state is, they are seriously enjoining his government, and they are seriously behind him. And anything that will unseat him, then it's like declaring civil crisis in that state. It's as simple as that. So, and with this crisis, honestly, is as good as saying Tinubu will just be one-time president, OTP.
Okay, you mean OTP is one-time president?
Oh, one-time president.
I thought it's one-time password or something for banks. But it's okay, learning new.
Politically, is a slogan for us.
Okay, for politicians.
One-time president.
All right.
With all this crisis, honestly, that is where Tinubu belongs to.
A lot of people in River State right now, especially people from the Joy extraction, are saying that if anything happens to Fubara, there will be a problem first with the state and by extension Nigeria. Do you think this threat holds water?
It holds water. You understand? You see, crisis, no matter how little it is, there is no alternative to peace other than peace. The only alternative to peace is peace. So no matter how little atom of crisis is, it can spoil a lot of things. And don't forget, these are the people who Nigerian as a country is benefiting from their zone. What we rely on Nigeria, the natural petroleum resources that Nigeria relied on solidly, is being gotten from that side. So, and we saw how the late Yar'Adua handled their crisis then. It was not that Yar'Adua was not sure of himself to curtail the crisis or whatever using the security apparatus, you understand? But he knows thousands of people will go. Properties worth billions of naira will go. So, and he felt the best thing, just like I said, is the alternative to peace is peace. It's not negotiable. So, and that was why he was able to say, okay, oh, there will be an amnesty for you. Lay down your arms. Let's talk. Let's negotiate. What do you want? We'll give it to you. And I think that also gave birth to this, is it Niger Delta Development Commission? You understand? Now, why will this government of the day want to throw all those things into dustbin? Because of Wike. What is happening in River State is not a plus to APC. I can say this anyway.
Well, Wike is not from APC either.
That is just by mere saying. Even a madman on the street knows where Wike belongs to. He's serving an APC government. He's not serving Nigeria. He's serving the interests of an individual, which is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That is what Wike is serving as a minister.
But he has not come out openly to say that. Of course, anybody can be engaged in a particular administration in order for the interest of the country. But he has not come out to openly say, I am for APC, I've decamped, I've left PDP. Of course, most times we've often hear him talk, and he's telling you that I'm not leaving PDP for you guys. I'm still staying with the party.
The part of the issue is this. When you look at somebody in a party and you are mingling with another party, that is anti-party.
But even if it's for the development of the country, are you not openly coming out to declare?
If it's development for the party, for the country, yeah. When it comes to party issues, party affairs, then its loyalty should be to PDP. But that has not been.
He has not come out to openly say.
He has been behind the crisis in PDP. So what are we saying?
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Allegedly, let me use that word. He has been the man, he has been the major brain behind the whole crisis, just to ensure there is no formidable opposition to the APC ruling government. So then what are you telling me? I must not be a card-carrying member of a party before I'll throw my support to that party. It's not all people that goes out on the election day to cast their vote that are party members. Party members they are less than 3% of the total populace of the electorate. When you look at the party, call it the state ESCO, the local government ESCO, the world ESCO, the national ESCO, combine all of them together, how many are they? The whole political parties we have compared to the population of Nigeria, compared to the population of people coming out to cast their votes for a candidate of their choice.
Chief Shittu,
yeah.
The people from Ijaw extractions are feeling threatened right now that their son, because we've turned back to ethnicity right now, that their son is about to be unseated by the other tribes that forms Rivers State. Speaking of let's just leave it at the other tribes of Rivers State. Do you think at this point that this war is against the people of Ijaw? Which, because we heard Egbesu coming out to say that anything that happens to Fubara, the country will bleed, the country will hear from them, and all of this. Do you think that this is a fight against the good people of Ijaw, or is just an individual rift between Wike and Fubara?
You see, the truth is, the earlier we realize the fact that Ijaw is not Lagos, I think then the better. Ijaws are not threatened. The only party that is being threatened in this situation, in these circumstances now, is Nelson Wike. As we speak, he's expected to hold a Thanksgiving service, you understand, on the 15th of this month, just some couple of days to come. But one of the king, Tom, you understand, I said no. Now, there are informations that Wike is trying to make use of the security agencies, the DSS, the Nigerian Army, the police, to ensure that this Thanksgiving comes up, that it holds. But these people are saying, since you condemn us, and since you said we are no bother, then you are not coming here for your Thanksgiving on the 15th of March. So who is being threatened? Somebody trying to look, and this is why I said federal government apparatus, which is supposed to be what belongs to all of us, an individual is now using it to oppress the state. So information has it now that Wike is trying to see how they can get all security agencies moved a larger number of them down to enable him hold that Thanksgiving. If you want to do a Thanksgiving, there are thousands of churches in the FCT.
So you are saying that the Ijaw people are not being threatened right now. Not feeling threatened by some of the Ikwere movements that we've seen right now in Rivers State. Of course,
when you look at their population in that state, I think they control about 10 local governments. That is that they dominate. The Ijaws has about 10 local government, key local government in that state. So is that 10 local government and others? And that others is where Wike falls to. So an Ijaw will not allow somebody to just bring down their own person just like that. They are saying that this is the second attack on the Ijaw. That Jonathan, in a similar way, that was how Jonathan government was flushed out of the system. And everybody knows Tinubu played a vital role in bringing Muhammadu Buhari on seat. So today again, they are now saying that Wike is using the advantage his closeness to Tinubu to oppress Rivers State, to oppress Ijaw.
But this is a threat to the Ijaw people.
Yes, a serious threat.
But what I'm asking is because all of this narrative, for the Ijaw to Egbesu to come out to speak out about this thing, it means that Egbesu is like the war arm of the Ijaw group, like the military arm of the Ijaw community, and they've come out to say one or two, even at this point in time. So this looks like the Ijaw community is being threatened. That's why I'm asking you, could this be that the Ijaw community, even in Rivers State, is being threatened to a large extent?
Honestly, they are not threatened. You see, if you step on the toes of the Ijaw people, that person will collect. They are not the regular Nigerians that is afraid. If you step on Ijaw, if you step on their toes, that person will collect. That I know as a matter of fact. So they are not, you see, they are only, why you see as if what you are considering as a threat to them is not a threat. You understand? It's just like you see a house you built that it takes you years, it takes you a lot of resources to bring up a structure, and somebody is trying to destabilize that structure, somebody is trying to demolish that structure. That is just what they just are just looking at. That once that deal is striked, the war, and it starts, a lot of things will go. So that is just the only aspect they are looking into.
And because, again, why I'm asking that question is because we've listened to a lot of communities and groups spring forth from the Ijaw extraction, even of Rivers State. First, we've heard that if anything happens to Fubara, we'll not be able to extract crude from that region. We've heard also from unreliable source, speculated sources, that if anything happens to Fubara, until Egbesu came out to speak, which is one of the open group in the Ijaw extraction that came out to speak, we've had partial conversations all around that says if this happens to this, if this happened to this. Now, one will begin to ask, do they feel threatened by a political process? Because whether we like it or not, this is Rivers State House of Assembly versus us, the executive arm of government, which is the political process. So if you're being threatened or you feel that the system is not right, there are better ways to address some of these things. If you feel your right is being trampled upon as an ethnic group, we should approach the court to be able to get justice to this. That's what I'm asking. With all of this playing out right now, do they feel threatened? And if you're saying they don't feel threatened, but all of the narrative that we've gotten right now, say we will shock President Bola Tinubu if Fubara is impeached. It doesn't sound like a path in the back. It doesn't sound like a complimentary, let's say it doesn't sound like a compliment. It sounds like if A goes wrong, B will follow. That's what I'm asking right now. Do you think or feel at this point that the Ijaw people are threatened?
You see, one, the Ijaw people, like I keep saying it, they are not threatened. But it's just that Wike has been a controversial figure. And you understand, it is when you look at this, the concern should be that he may be too excessive. And these things need to be controlled. So the actions you are seeing from Ijaw is just a signal to the president, to the sitting president.
But this is between Fubara and the House of Assembly.
Yeah.
Like you allege that Wike is the force behind the Rivers State House of Assembly, allegedly. But then, what is the reality on ground? Does it pose a threat to the people of Ijaw? That's what I want to find out from you.
It doesn't really, there is no any threat to the people of Ijaw. Those who are being threatened are the 27 number State House of Assembly members. Just yesterday, the sitting speaker, is constituency has started the process for recall. So now tell me who is being threatened. If Nigerian citizens, if these good people of Rivers State knows the power they have, that they voted for these people, and these people are on board, and these people are stepping on their toes, instead of them to concentrate on governance and see how people will enjoy the good dividends of the democracy, of the governance, what they are doing is power tussle. Oga talk say, You understand? Then is that democracy? So once the people of Rivers State now knows and realize that they can easily recall any of those state chairs of assembly, once one or two of them is being recalled, others will sit up. That's the fact about it.
Even against the position of the Supreme Court?
There are two separate things, don't miss them.
All right.
The position of the Supreme Court has affirmed them. And that is why today they are operating as member of the State House of Rivers State House of Assembly. That does not stop the people of Rivers State from recalling any of those members. Recalling them has nothing to do with Supreme Court judgment. Please, don't mix it up. There are two different things. You can recall any of your elected officers, be it the governor, councillor. You understand? When you feel they are not giving you what you want and they are not doing what you expected them to do.
But both of
It
us,
happened in Kogi now.
Yeah.
They tried it on Dino, you understand? So, and gradually, this tells us Nigeria...
but Dino was not eventually recalled.
Because the record process took place, but they couldn't... The figure to unseat him is what they couldn't get. It was there are certain figures that they will need before you can unseat. But in this case of Rivers State, if that happens, I can bet it with you, those people are going back to their houses. That's the fact about it.
All right. So, some persons have said that the Rivers State issue is not just an issue for the Rivers State. It's an issue to correct abnormalities within the South-South region and by extension, other part of the country where certain ministers, of course, we've heard that of Osun State, where it has been alleged that Oyetola, who is serving even in this administration of President Bola Tinubu, is also fermenting troubles within that region. I don't know how correct that is, but from a large quarters, that's what is being said. Now, Oyetola, once upon a time, Oyetola gave the people within the All Progressive Congress and local government chairman, mandated them to go back to their offices. And of course, you read that in the papers, and we've seen all of this fermenting troubles. And so, Rivers State, they're saying, the Rivers State is not just Rivers State, but just to set an example in the South-South. Do you think that this narrative is correct?
That narrative you have is very, very correct. And let me quickly chip in. Not just Osun State. And you see, when I came here, I think one of the first statements I made there today is that what you have in system, Nigeria is being ruled by political cartels. These are the cartels I'm talking of. You cannot imagine individuals holding state into ransom. Oyetola is holding Osun State. Ganduje is holding Kano State. Multiple crises on the tussle of the emirship and other things. Do you understand? When you now look at who are those behind this crisis, is it the citizens of those states? Is it the citizens of Kano State? Is it the citizens of Osun State? Is it the people of Rivers State? No. But some power-drunk individuals, because of their closeness and their closeness and their commitment, or how do I put it, to the sitting president. But what we are telling President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is that he should call his boys to order. He should call his boys to order. That's the best thing we want. A lot of things to this series of crises, and these things will not be, is going to be to his own disadvantage. It's going to be to the disadvantage of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We saw what happened at the Red Chamber. Then this Akpabio and Natasha issue. You can imagine, number 3 citizen being harassed of sexual harassment, no investigation, nothing. What happened on that Red Chamber there was just a show of power. Now we did here. We can do anything and we can do, and nothing will happen. That is exactly what has happened at the Red Chamber. Why will I be a judge on a case that I'm being indicted? A case I'm an accused, and I'll be the prosecutor, I will be the judge in my own case. Then tell me, how do you want to see fairness or justice there?
But let's not even delve into Natasha's issue, because that one is an issue that we won't even leave this table today because it's a very interesting.
No, like you see, while I only chip in there is just for you to know that Nigeria is being ruled by cartels. I keep saying it, political cartels. That's what you have. So don't be deceived that democracy is in place in Nigeria. No, we lost it.
Well, Chief Shitu, you were saying that we lost it.
Yeah.
But then it has become like a recurring phenomenon where the power in office, the party in office, they tend to take sides with certain individuals using federal might. But looking at this, is there a way we can break even, Nigeria can break even from this circle where, like I mentioned earlier, in Rivers State, we saw Rotimi Amechi when he was the governor, when he was the Minister of Transportation. We saw some of his influence in Rivers State to do similar thing to what allegedly Wike is doing right now. And we've seen this play out in different quarters across the country. Is there a way Nigerians can break out of this chain, even ensuring that if you are in the federal cabinet, or serving under the presidential cabinet, you have no business being in the business with issues that affect the state, so that we can have a more robust democracy?
You see, it's very, very possible. And you see, we can only get that when we have a sitting president who does not tolerate immorality. We have seen people like, we've seen my leader, Peter Obi. He was a governor in Anambra State for 8 years. The moment he left government, he stopped prognosing into the affairs of Anambra State as a state. He faced his own personal business squarely. Do you understand? No, be saying
we can't say that. We can't say that openly. Of course, he will still be involved.
The past idea go and verify.
He will still want to indulge in certain things that have to do with Anambra State. Of course, as a stakeholder.
And he ensured he doesn't go near governance. He allowed the sitting power, the sitting governor, to take his decision. If they consult him as an header, as a stakeholder, is a different thing from manipulating the processes of government. There are two different things. If it's being consulted, we need your elderly advice. We want you to cancel us. How do we go on this? It's a different thing. It's different from hijacking the structure of the state. Hijacking the affairs of the government. It's quite different. Rabi Musa Konkoso, Dr. Rabi Musa Konkoso was governor in Kano State for 8 years. He was a minister for defense. But when you look at it, it's not causing crisis or whatever in Kano State or any other part of the northern state. He immediately left governance. In fact, his first 4 years, his second time he was defeated by Shekarau. And Obasanjo got him compensated with this appointment of Minister for Defense or something like that. And he remained calm. There was no crisis, there was nothing. Even far back then, Shekarau said he dares Dr. Rabi Musa Konkoso to enter Kano. And you know what Rabi Musa did? I was in Kano, I saw it live. He came. But he did not just came, he came into Kano powerfully and nothing happened. Everything was so peaceful. So the next thing Kano people were saying is Minister Nsoro. Say even for you to stone him, you don't go get that liver. You understand? And these are people who have been in government, and after they finish their official assignment, they step aside for other people to take on the battle. Wike has finished his tenure as governor of Rivers State. Wike has played a vital role in bringing Fubara to sit. Then you should allow Fubara to perform. You should stop frustrating Fubara. So if somebody is coming on board to say Nigeria might not achieve all these things, we are deceiving ourselves. Because we have seen people, I've just named few for you. Bukola Saraki was a governor in Kwara State, 8 years. He became senator, became senate president. Where is Bukola Saraki today? He's not manipulating the affair of his state.
That's why most of the names you mentioned might not be directing the affairs of the state directly, but of course indirectly they are still part of directing the affairs of the state. Using Peter Obi, for example, they come to PDP as a case study. Of course, we saw the election that played out in Anambra State when it was in PDP. To a very large extent, it was able to influence that election to ensure that the PDP was recognized in that state. You agree with me on that? You see,
influence in what aspect? Influence in what aspect? You see, when you
he came out to campaign and support the presidential.
That is party politics. That is quite different.
And you know that's an influence of the state.
Is an influence to ensure that his own party became the winner in that election. and immediately a winner was declared, tell me the role Peter Obi played again. There is no crime if as a party man you come on board to campaign for your party. It's never a crime anywhere in the whole world. It's never a crime. That today we see Bukola Saraki campaigning for PDP is not a crime anywhere across the length and breadth of Nigeria. You will see Dr. Rabi Musa Akonkoso campaigning for NNPP across the length and breadth of Nigeria is not a crime. Same thing applies to Peter Obi. You understand? But what we need is, once you are out of office, allow the person that took over that battle to face the crisis and see how he can do. You can only advise.
Are we ripe for that politics yet?
Of course.
We see what is playing out in Kogi State, for example. Can we say we are ripe to take that decision right now?
See,
because most governors that have ruled for 8 years still perceive their predecessors as children, even in the restructuring and organizational framework of the state.
You see, a lot of Nigerian citizens, we keep on blaming the government, forgetting we are the major player in this game. You understand? You see now, if there is any crisis, once they just look for people, they enter one market or garage, pack people inside their coastal bus, give them 1,000 or 2,000, start protesting. It's only in Nigeria I've seen protests against protest. It's only in Nigeria that you see protests against protest. You understand? Because people are asking for their basic amenities, for their basic right. That please, you that are in the position of authority, do these things for us. And those at the position of authority will go and hire some thugs and some market women, garage boys. You understand? All these area boys. The next thing is go and attack them, drive them come on for road. So those people whom our politicians easily buy every 4 years or every now and then, with tokens, 5,000, 10,000, one bag of rice, they are part of those adding to our problem in this country.
All right, Chief Shittu, we'll come back to the conversation. We'll go for a short break right now. And when we return, we'll still talk more even on the desk, still on the same issue. Please stay with us as the desk continues in a moment. Welcome back, and just in case you're just joining us, this is the desk here on Global Television, and my name is Godwin Sunday. I'm still talking with Chief Shittu. We're talking about issues around the Rivers State crisis. But let me bring this to you, Chief Shittu. We've talked about the size of the people of Ijaw in Rivers State. We've talked about the fact that they don't feel threatened by some of the political happenings or the happenings within the political arena of Rivers State. You don't feel threatened. This is the political wing of the Ijaw, the military wing of the Ijaw community, Ebisu. They're coming out to issue a threat or a statement to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We will shock you if anything, or if Fubara is being impeached. This statement is a strong statement, and it's a very strong statement. We want to react to it quickly before we go.
You see, no region has a monopoly of threatening a sitting president. Let's be sincere with ourselves. But what they have just said is a statement of fact. And they are calling on the president to urgently, that Bola Ahmed Tinubu should urgently address the crisis in Rivers State without taking side, without playing politics, without using Rivers State to play politics. You understand that I should call a spade and allow peace to reign in that state. So that statement that there is just a signal to the sitting president that we are loving people, we are people of peace, we love to be in peace, we love to maintain peace, we love to follow the rule of laws and others. But what we don't want is for somebody taking us for granted. And this, I want to agree with you. Nobody wants to be taken for granted. An individual, no matter how highly placed, no matter how influential that person is, should not be stronger than the state. An individual should not even be stronger than a local government. If you want to have a very decent,
but this statement doesn't look.
country.
This statement doesn't look like a statement that is made to ensure that there is peace. It is a statement that is that holds a potency of conflict, a near-war scenario, and a near-war syndrome. Like anything happens, and this looks like a threat to the Nigerian president, who will shock you. It's a strong word to use against a certain. Imagine other regions coming out to say the same thing right now, saying. Imagine Osun State, Ede people coming out to say if you impeach the governor Adeleke, we will shock you because the governor is from the PDP extraction, and we have all of this rumor. Doesn't this threaten the fabric of the country as it stands right now? And the people of Ijaw should be rather called to order, other than the presidents addressing this certain concern by Nigerians.
You want to call them to order when an individual is taking their state back. An individual is taking their state, Rivers State, backward.
And moving, so threatening the president, posing a conversation that seems like...
You are only looking at that statement.
All right.
And you are only looking at the present situation in Rivers State. Don't forget that immediately after the presidential election and after the winner was, Bola Ahmed Tinubu was declared as the winner, we all saw, what was this militant in this Ijoma, Asari Dokibo. We saw he was moving around with his boys, with gun. They were even making money parade and other things as if they are authorized, they are licensed military personnel. He was only doing that because he has the backing of the president. So now, you now see the loopholes. There have been a loophole for them to ride on. In a socialite, in a developed country, in a disciplined country, why will an individual carry weapons, firearms, openly, and stood outside court premises, threatening other people? That was what we saw during the presidential election petition tribunal. What was it called? Asari loaded his people in a coastal bus. Yeah, now in Abuja, yeah.
Yeah, just close to the cut of. Yeah, we saw that.
You understand? Yeah. Fully armed. And he's doing that because he knows the power that be are behind him. So you see, once you wine and dine with people like that, then they will take you for granted because they already knows much more about you. So they are not afraid of you.
So I'm concerned about the territorial integrity of Nigeria as a country. If a group or an ethnic group is directing a statement to the president and saying, we'll shock you.
You see, before that group or any other group will come up and say, Mr. President, we are telling you, this is what you do. They know what they have. They know their capacity. So, and it's not an empty threat. But what we are not from Rivers State, but we are Nigerians, our appeal to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is that he should quickly look into that issue before it gets escalated. Otherwise, once it's been escalated, then a lot of things will go. Nigerian government will lose a lot of things. That is why they are using that statement. If they just throw bomb, bam, to one or two of those oil wells or whatever federal government facilities in that place, do you know how many billions is gone?
Well, of course, we have the NSCDC. So NSCDC have an anti-bomb squad right now. So we know that some of our pipelines...
When they go to the battlefield, that's when we know who is more stronger. But we don't pray that happens. We don't pray that happens. And what you now look, what are the genesis of this threat? This statement that you alleged to be a threat. What are the genesis? An individual interest. Why should the interest of an individual supersede that of a state? For God's sake. Nigeria must not continue like this. We must not continue. This is not the kind of country we want to leave behind for our children. On a serious note.
This is quite sad.
Very, very sad.
But this again, we are saying, even on this table, that the president cannot just get involved in issue of this magnitude. There have to be a wide range of consultation, because this is
the consultation has been biased.
Based on
that is how the
based on the intergovernmental relations stratas. It has to come from the 3 tiers of government, and the federal government cannot easily meddle in discourse.
3 tiers of government in what aspect?
The federal, the state, and the local government. This issue is under the concurrent list, which has to do with what state can handle. Except the state is saying that we cannot handle this issue again. The federal government should intervene. That the state will now officially invite the local government to step in. But calling on the president to step in into a matter of this magnitude, don't you think that this is an aberration to the Constitution?
No,
which we've sworn to uphold?
Now, you see, just like you have rightly said, that will wholly be, what you said will wholly be in a system, in a situation where the system is working as it is expected to be. You understand? The sitting governor is making order. You understand that this is how I want to move this state forward. An individual in Abuja here is telling him you can't do that in my state. An individual, no group of people, not an opposition party to his own party, but an individual says it's against my interest. And now you see now an individual is making a sitting governor powerless. All PDP governors, what are they looking at? This is the time that is a litmus test. This is the time for them to stand up, to speak out. Let them speak up for Fubara. They should not leave only Fubara in this crisis. Because what comes around goes around. Or how you know they talk?
What goes around comes around.
You understand? So you cannot imagine when you are not saying local government, waiting local government want to inside that matter. When somebody is using federal mighty to oppress the sitting governor, who is a local government chairman, who is a member of State House of Assembly. If a state governor, sitting state governor, can be locked outside the premises of a State House of Assembly, that's too embarrassing. That's too embarrassing to the people of Rivers State, not just to the governor. It is not Fubara that they locked out. They locked the whole citizens of Rivers State outside.
Although they've said it's a private residence, like what VK tried to explain to me.
It could be a private residence, but they are using it officially for their sitting. So let's stop playing politics with most of these things. We are not fools. Why will a private residence be used? Why are they using it? If they agree to use that place, is it not from that same private resident they wrote to him? They wrote him letters. I be the letters for from heaven.
Well, Chief Shitu, we don't have answers where the letter came from. But we believe that the president will look into this, and also
that's the best thing.
We'll look into the.
I beg Tinubu and I beg him, make it look into that matter.
Of course, we believe the president is listening to us at the moment, and of course we'll intervene in the issues around the Rivers State. But I want to say thank you so much for being a part of the desk, Chief Shitu.
It's been great being with you. Thank you so much.
All right, viewers, this is how far we can go this evening. Don't forget that you can join us on our various, so you can follow us on our various social media handle now showing on your screen at Global TV NG. You can download the Global TV app to keep track of our broadcast by going to your Android and iOS devices to download the app Global TV Nigerian to be able to keep track of our broadcast, like I said before now. Don't forget also that peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Till I come your way again, same time, same station on the desk, I remain Godwin Sunday. Up next is News Cycle. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Do you know that global television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch global television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to global television.